Hello, beautiful people, and welcome. In this video, we are discussing the perfect square binomials. So what that means is you're going to have a trinomial. So you're going to have given to you, this is given, a trinomial. And in that trinomial, you're going to have a number here, and you're going to have a number here. So you're going to have a leading coefficient, and you're going to have a number here. Now, the leading term, so this entire thing, needs to be rewritten as something squared. The constant on this side needs to be rewritten as something squared. If you are able to do that, then potentially you have the perfect square binomials. Now, how do we know if we really do have this pattern? You have to do a check. Take your A value, which is here. Take your B value, which is going to be here. And you're going to say A times B times 2. And that's always 2. You don't change that 2. And if that equals 2, this middle term here, then yes, you have a perfect square binomial. And so your answer is going to be a binomial, 2 terms. So A and B. The plus minus depends on this middle term. I'm going to highlight it here in a different color. This plus minus comes from here. So if this is a plus, then we put a plus here in our binomial. If it is a minus, then we put a minus in our binomial. And then you finish off the question with a squared, and it will always be squared if we have a binomial. Now, there could potentially be a GCF. If you have a GCF, you just put it out in front. Let's start out with an example. Example number 1, I have x squared plus 8xy plus 16y squared. So the first thing, I'm not really sure if this is a perfect square binomial. However, I do see a 16y squared. So I'm going to rewrite that as 4y squared. Now, in order for this to work, I also need this right here to be a perfect square. Is x squared a perfect square? Yes. I can rewrite this as x squared. Now I have to do our check. So that means this right here needs to equal 2 times your a, which is x, times your b, which is 4y. If that equals to 8xy, then yes, we have a perfect square binomial. So 4 times x times 2 means 4 times 2 times x times y. So that means I have 8xy. Yes, that does check out. So therefore, you are writing your answer as a, which is x, and b, which is 4y squared. Now, what is the symbol we put in the middle? Notice this second term, this middle term, has a plus, so we put a plus in between it. And that is our answer. So this method saves you from doing the longer trinomial guess and check method if you notice the pattern. However, the other method will still work. So let's do it here. I see a 25, 20, and 4. Let's see if we have a GCF. 25 is 5 times 5. 20 is 5 times 4. And then I have a 4. So unfortunately, no GCF. However, I am noticing a pattern. I have a 25, I have an r squared. So that means I have a 5 squared here, r squared here. 4, I have a 2 squared. So that means my a value is 5r squared. My b value is 2. Again, let's do our middle term check. 2, and it's always 2. This 2 doesn't change. 2 times 5r times 2. 2 times 5 is 10. R times 2, that's 20r. Do we have a 20r here? Yes. So that means that is a check. So we can go straight into writing our answer. Our a value is 5r. Our b value is 2. Squared, always squared. And then what is the middle symbol? Middle symbol is minus, so we write a minus, and this is our answer. Let's do that one more time. 45, 60, and 20. I'm not noticing any perfect squares. 45 is definitely not a perfect square. 20 is definitely not a perfect square. So I'm thinking maybe GCF. What can I pull out of all of this? So I'm thinking maybe 5, because I have 45 and 20. 20 can it be 4 and 5? So let's see. If I have 45 and I pull out a 20, excuse me, if I have a 45 and I pull out a 5, I have a 9m squared left. 9 is a perfect square. 60 divided by 5 is 12m plus 20 divided by 5 is 4. So when I remove 5 as my GCF, this is my trinomial that stays behind. Now I'm excited because m is attached to 9. 9 is a perfect square. So I have 3 squared. I also have m squared. Here I have 2 squared. So now we have to do our middle term check. So 2, check. I'm going to change color so that way it doesn't blend in. So I have 2 times, what's my a term? My a term is 3m squared. So 2 times 3m times 2, this 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. M. Do I have a 12m here? Yes. Now we're not checking the 60 because we no longer have this. We have factored out 5, so this is our new trinomial. So yes, this checks out. So I can go from our factored out GCF into our answer. So I still need my GCF, which is 5. And so here I have 3m as my A, 2 as my B squared. And what's the symbol I'm using? I'm using a plus because this term is a plus. And here's our answer. So this method here is a shorter way of factoring trinomials if you have this specific pattern. However, if you don't, then you have to go back to the guess and check and the slip and divide method. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great day. Bye.